Hello everyone. I hope you can hear us and see us.
One
If you
second.
can hear us and see us, just add in the live session so that we can start out. The live has started. Just testing the live chat so that we can see that we are live and we are audible for you.
Yes, it is audible.
Just testing the live chat so that we can see that we are live and we are audible for you. Just testing the I think we'll wait for 2 minutes so that everyone can join. Uh, guys, just guys, just section the live chat so that we can understand that people can hear us and yes, and we can start out the session. Okay, I think we are good to go, Shrikant. We'll
Yes.
just wait for 2 minutes so that everybody can join.
We have 11 members joined total.
I think we're good to go, Shrikant, and I will start the live session.
Yes.
Hello,
Practice.
everyone. This is Praneeth, the Principal Associate for Epsilon Pi, and this is Shrikant, my co-presenter for today. And here we are here for this live to explain about Ideate and the guide. It's like a guide for you to understand the event structure a little bit better and the PPT you're going to make on the event day. So I just confirm that you can hear us and see us on the chat so that we can go further. Yeah, we can see your comments, Jonathan. Just confirm that you can hear by saying audio and video, and we're good to go. Just comment audio and video, and we are good to go. Yeah, hello everyone. This is Praneeth, and this is Shrikant, my co-presenter for today's live. And we are here to tell you about Ideate, the event which you are taking part, the entrepreneurship event, which is related to Eureka 2025, the event hosted by ESL IIT Bombay. So just a little about Eureka. Eureka is Asia's biggest business model competition hosted by IIT Bombay ESL, and the winners of Ideate, the event which you are participating right now, will qualify for the zonal rounds of Eureka, which are held at Delhi, Bangalore, and Bombay. And the perks of you participating in the event is exposure, mentorship, and networking, which is really important for you if you're planning to grow your career in the path of entrepreneurship or you're planning to grow your startup. And the exciting part of this event is there is the cash prize of worth 26 lakhs, which is really a huge amount for a startup in its initial stages. And they're also offering you essential funding to support your entrepreneur journey. And the other best part is there will be like venture capitalists, the VCs, and the angel investors who are ready to invest in your startup ideas if they're good enough for them to invest. And this event is ideal for early stage startups and entrepreneurs who are seeking market validation funding or scaling up their startups. So the event guidelines for Ideate are like we have like received 23 startup ideas which are like shortlisted, and you'll be getting 3 minutes pitch for each startup idea, and a 2 minutes Q&A session will be given. In the 2 minute Q&A session, you can interact with the juries and ask them questions, and they can give you constructive feedback on your PPT as well. And coming to the jury part, we have like 3 to 4 distinguished jury members who already have their expertise in entrepreneurship or already have their startups and they are trying to grow their own startups. The winner of the Ideate competition will be directly submitted to ESL IIT Bombay so that they can get a chance to participate in Eureka 2025, which is the event which I mentioned in the earlier slide. So this is a general brief of the event guidelines. And now we are getting into the pitch deck structure, which is the way you're going to present your PPT on the event day. And I hand over the session to Shrikant, who will be explaining you how you have to submit your PPT. Shrikant, the session is yours.
Thank you, Praneeth, for your beautiful introduction. So, hey everyone, this is Shrikant, and I'll be explaining you the pitch deck of the event. So, you all might be thinking, why do we actually need a separate session to know how to pitch? Uh, well, pitching is not just about explaining your idea; it's about selling your vision. It's the bridge between your idea and the real world execution. So basically, you all might be doing your regular PR presentations in your academics, but pitching a startup is quite different thing. Okay, the way you communicate can make the difference between someone believing in your startup or forgetting it in the next 5 minutes. So the pitching is the line between theoretical idea and the practical idea that can actually be achieved. Okay, so let's not make it a theory class. Let's take some examples. Okay, imagine you're in a lift with an investor who can help you to build your startup and make it a success. And you have only 30 seconds to talk to him. What do you say to make them remember you? That's called an elevator pitch. Okay, am I making sense? This contest is like a stage for your practical practice that skill. Have you ever seen Shark Tank? So, can I get some comments? Yes. You all might be knowing Shark Tank, right? It's a very popular program. So if you don't know, it's okay. Just it's a very good program. Try to watch it before you come to the event. And talking about the session, I'll be explaining you this PPT. So I hope all of you have received this PPT through your registration confirmation mail, and I hope all of you have gone through it. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do is explaining you the complete PPT, all the slides, each and every line mentioned in it, and what it means. Okay. So let's deep dive into the PPT. The first slide says about your team name, problem statement title, and the theme. Okay. So what does it actually mean? This is your opening handshake with the judges. All right. In 20 to 30 seconds, you should make them understand who you are, what your problem is, and the theme you're working under. Okay. Coming to the first point, team name. This isn't just a formality. A good team name can reflect your vision or make you memorable. For example, if I let's take an example. Okay. For example, if Teen Zero Waste. Immediately when I say the name, the person sitting in front of you understands that what you're trying to convey, what is your problem and what is your solution. The second point, problem statement title. Be specific instead of saying food app. Okay, that's way too basic. Instead, you can say household food waste in urban India, which is a more clear title that makes your pitch more professional. All right. Coming to theme is nothing but the category that your idea comes under. Okay. Connect your idea to the event's theme. For example, if I give you some examples of theme, something like sustainability, health tech, fintech, or education, it helps judges mentally place your idea. Okay. Let's take an example. So basically, what people do, they generally come and make small words, tell it in simple words. Be specific about what you're going to convey. Instead of saying we are team ABC and our idea is an app for food delivery, that's way too basic, all right? Instead, you can say we are team ABC and our mission is to reduce food wastage in India households by 30% using smart AI powered kitchen assistant. So this is a more detailed idea pitching. Okay. So the common mistakes people make in this slide is many teams dive straight into features. We built an app. Okay. They directly come and tell what they are going to do without setting the context, which will actually judges can't connect to it if you do that mistake. Okay. So I hope the first slide is clear. It's basically your team name, the problem statement that you are explaining, and the theme of your idea. Coming to the second slide, you can see it says idea USP. So can I know how many of you know what USP is? I hope at least few of you know it. Basically, USP is nothing but unique selling proposition. What does it mean? So this slide basically introduce your solution and highlight its USP, unique selling proposition. Judges won't know what your idea is, how does it solve the problem, and why is it better than what exists already. Okay, so you need to do a problem recap. Remind them quickly in one line what you're solving. That's very important. Then, after you tell your problem, come to the solution, not directly telling the solution. Okay, explain your product or service in simple terms. Avoid technical stuff. Pretend you're explaining it to a 10-year-old boy, because it's not compulsory that the judges are expert in your subject. They might be from different fields. So it's very much important to keep it simple so that each and everyone present in the hall can understand it. Okay. Features to benefits. Don't just list what your solution does. Show what benefits actually it's going to provide to society. And talking about the USP is basically unique selling proposition. What's the secret sauce? Because that is what the judges are going to observe in your idea. It could be your tech, your approach, your distribution, or even your team's expertise. Okay, so basically, USP is the most important thing in startups. That is what the judges mostly focus on. All right. So the common mistakes to avoid are saying we are unique because no one has thought of this. Chances are that the most probably the idea is already available in the market. The point is how you are going to sell it in a unique way. All right. So that's it for this slide. I hope you got an idea, detailed explanation of the proposed solution, how it addresses the problem, and what the uniqueness of your solution. Um, Basically, after every slide, I'll be giving you a checklist. Um, I request you to just note down the key points, okay? So it will be helpful for you to just revise before your pitch. Recap the problem in one line, describe the solution, show how features solve the specific problem. State your USP. That's the most important point. All right. Let's move to the next slide. Target market and size. Okay. What does this mean? Even if your solution is brilliant, if it only matters if people actually want it. It doesn't matter how brilliant your solution is. It can only succeed if there is a demand for it in the market. Okay, this slide proves that there's a real demand and then that the market is big enough. As it says, the first thing is target audience, target market, and size. Be specific. Judges don't want to hear everyone can use this. That sounds unrealistic. Okay, for example, let's take your idea is some software technology. That software app is can be helpful for students like us, or maybe software employees, but not for everyone, right? Not for the rural people or two small kids. So be specific what your target audience is. Like if you're trying some healthy snack item, which is your startup idea. So be specific of what category of people can use this. And amount of target audience you can achieve. Okay, let's try to understand with an example. I think I'm going too much theoretically. Let's take an example. India wastes food worth 1 lakh crore annually.
Shrikant, I think we just and try
Sorry,
explaining the slide again once again, please.
should I explain the slide again? All right.
I think your connection just got lost. Yeah, do that, please.
Okay, okay. I'll do that. Sorry for the disturbance. So the third slide of our PPT is target market and size. So what does this mean? Even if your solution is brilliant, it only matters if people actually want it. Okay. So it doesn't matter what your idea is. It can only be successful if the market really needs it. Okay. This slide proves that there is a real demand and that the market is big enough. So as I mentioned here, target market and size. So target audience, be specific. Judges don't want to hear everyone can use this. Okay. For example, if you're introducing some software app, not everyone can use it, right? Only students like us or some software employees can use it. Not everyone. When I say everyone, I mean some rural people or any other people. The second thing is market size. Use the TM, SM, and SOM approach. What does they mean? The first thing is total addressable market. Everyone who could use your solution. All right. The second thing is serviceably available market. The smaller segment you can realistically achieve in your initial stages. Okay, the small segment that you can target in your initial stages. And the third one is serviceable obtainable market. The slice you believe you can capture in next 1 or 2 years. The future plans. Try to add numbers, research papers, and survey data. You know, try to do it with some statistics. That will be add more weightage to your pitch. Okay, I think I'm being too theoretical. Let's make try to take some examples. Let me give you a small example. India wastes food worth 1 lakh crore annually. Our initial target is 20 million middle class households in metro cities. Even if we capture 1% of that, that's 2 lakh users paying 99 rupees per month. So 99 rupees per month for 2 lakh people. How much does it make? It makes around 200 crores annually. All right. So if you give your pitch in this way, it will add more weightage to your pitch. The judges can connect your idea in a better way. And it matters a lot because market research shows you're solving a problem people actually care about, not just something you thought of randomly. Okay. And the common mistakes to avoid in this part is copying Google stats. No, you can't completely rely on the online stats. Okay. If you have 100% authentic data, only then you present it, or else the judges can easily catch you. So the checklist for this slide is define your ideal customer profile. When I say customer profile, it can be the age, the city they belong to, lifestyle, or the income. Start with a narrow segment, something like a city or a group. Estimate your market size. And most importantly, use research, surveys, or credible reports only. Okay. So that's it for the third slide. Let's go to the next one. Growth potential. What does this mean? Judges don't care about what you have built. Okay. They want to know if your idea can scale up and become bigger in the future. This slide is about showing your vision. So am I making sense? Because it doesn't matter how good your ideas today. It should be profitable in the future also. Only then you'll be getting investments and you'll be growing in the market. So you need to catch up trends. What's happening in the world that makes your idea more relevant now? Example, you can take rising food cost, climate change, AI adaptation. So as per the current trends, how your idea is going to fit into the market. Okay. The second thing is scalability. How can your solution grow without costs increasing too much? Because that's the most important thing, and most of the startups struggle with this part. So you need to have a clear idea on how you're going to solve it. And the next thing is competitive advantage. Why will your idea stay strong if competitors arrive? Okay, you need to have plan of action for that too. All right. Let me give a small example how you can present this slide. Food waste is a global issue, and with inflation rising, families are desperate to save. Our app scales easily. One code base can support millions of users. Over time, our AI improves with every household we onboard, creating a data advantage no one else can match. Okay, in this way, you can explain your idea relevant to the current situation. Okay, and the common mistakes you can that can happen are we have no competition. That's a big red flag. Okay, you cannot say that will not have competition. If you have, if you got the idea, there might be chances that other people have also got the same idea, and if not today, tomorrow there will be competition. So you need to be prepared for that. If you say that thing, it simply means that the problem isn't that big. Okay, it simply means that. So the checklist for these slides are list trends helping you, like tech, behavior, regulations, and all that stuff. Explain how your model scales, cost reduce, efficiency improvements. Show your competitive advantage. Okay, so I hope this slide is clear. We'll be moving to the next slide. Revenue model. So coming to the finances of your startup. All right, what does this slide mean? At the end of the day, judges want to see if your startup can become into a good business. And this slide explains how you make money. Monetization strategies, which is very much important. Will you charge customers directly, something like subscription, one-time purchase, or will you earn indirectly, something like ads, commissions, partnerships? So, what type of model you are going to work on is very much important, and you should be clear about that while you're pitching your idea. The next thing is pricing. Show realistic pricing strategy. Example, free vision plus premium features at 99 rupees per month. Something like that with an example. Revenue streams. Extra ways you'll earn. Example, selling anonymized data to grocery chains, running ads, and taking transaction cuts. Apart from your main method of earnings, what else can you do to get some extra revenue from the business? Unit economics. If possible, show cost of acquiring users versus lifetime value. Even simple numbers impress judges. Okay, that can be a plus point to your pitching. So let me help you understand this better with an example. Okay, we use premium model. Basic features are free. Okay, apart from the premium model, the basic features are free. Premium AI planning is at 99 rupees per month. Okay, and the CAC is for rupees 150 through ads, and we recover it in 2 months. Additional revenue comes from partnership with grocery stores who pays for promotions. Okay, so in this way, you can clearly tell your idea on how you're going to earn money, what are the different ways, and what all you can do. A great idea without revenue is just a hobby. So it's of no use. That cannot become a business and grow into the market. Within few years, it is going to fail. So be clear about your revenue model, guys. Okay. Saying we'll figure out our revenue later, that's a signal that you haven't prepared for your startup and it's just a raw idea. So that's a big red flag. All right. So I hope I've explained you all the key points. Let's go through checkpoints. Primary model, the business model, subscription, ads, transactions. Is it B2B or B2C? Business to business or business to customer? Okay. I hope you know this stuff. Pricing strategies, unit economics, and extra revenue streams. So I hope this slide is good to go. Coming to the next stage of your startup and future plans. So what is your current status and what are your future plans? Even though this slide isn't code, it shows seriousness about how you're going to work in the future and what are your current status. Judges want to see that you're not just dreamers but also doers. Okay, that's the most important thing. Current stage. Do you have prototype, survey response, or pilot users? So do you just have an idea, or already did you build any project or a prototype on your idea? Milestones. What small wins have you achieved? Example, 20 families tested and reduced waste by 25%. So as I've given an example, you can give a small example like in what ways have you tried to sell your idea or the project, whatever you have built. Future roadmap. Next steps in 3, 6, and 12 months. Keep it practical, guys. Okay. Risk and mitigation. Be honest, because honesty is the best policy. Risk users may uninstall often novelty wears off. So okay, so you need to be honest about your idea and whatever you're going to do. Example, like we have built a prototype tested with 20 families. Next, we'll expand to 200 households in Hyderabad in next 3 months, and in two metro cities in next 12 months. So be specific about the timeline and your targets that you're going to achieve in that particular timeline. All right. So the common mistakes to avoid here are writing too much details or roadmap for the next 3, 6, and 12 years. All right. So I think we are good to go. Talking to we have come to the end of the PPT. End slide. What you can do here is this is your final chance to make impression. Don't just say that's it. End with energy, clarity, and confidence. When I say this part, let me give you an example. Like you can say your team name plus tagline, short and catchy, right? Contact, you can give your contact information for networking because you need to connect to the lot of people in the market to grow. Like you can give your LinkedIn profile or your mails. Call to action, what do you want next? Judges often connect you to mentors, so make a clear ask. So is it clear or should I give an example? Okay, let's give an example. We are team zero waste. Every meal deserves a plate, not a bin. Scan this QR to try our prototype. We are looking for mentors and 50 new families to test our app. So how's that? That sounds solid, right? So try to impress the judges with some taglines or attractive sentences. Don't repeat the common mistakes that are forgetting to add your contact info. Judges may like you but won't know how to reach you. So all your pitching and all your hard work will be going to vain. All right. So let me give a quick recap. Okay. The first thing is your introduction. Next comes the USP, unique selling proposition, and your idea. Who needs and how big they are. It is nothing but your target audience and the target market. Why it will grow and survive in the future. The growth potential of your idea. How will you earn money from the proposed idea? What have you done and what are your future plannings? And at the end, how you will succeed and what will be your future goals. So I think Pranit will continue the session. Pranit, you can take
Yes,
over.
yeah, Shrikant, that was really a solid presentation on how to pitch your startup. I think we have one question from Jonathan. He's asking, "What if I'm just starting and don't have a prototype?" Can you think? Do you think you can answer that?
So, Jonathan, if you don't have a prototype, you can basically tell that what your idea is, and you can tell also explain like what are the requirements to build the project. So maybe the judges can help you out and guide you how to build the prototype and get started with your work. So basically, the most important thing is your idea. If your idea is really good, um, things can be sorted in some or the other way.
Yeah, Shrikant, I think that's a pretty solid answer as well. And so, guys, this is about the PPT which you are going to submit on 21st August, which is the event day. And make sure that your PPT is ready by 21st August because we are not going to give you any amount of time on the event day to prepare your PPT. So, on the event day, you're coming along with your completed PPT. And yeah, that's about the PPT. And continue with our event structure. Um Once again, I thank Shrikant for explaining the PPT. Moving forward, we will be also providing you with the additional support of the event, which will be like the resources which you can look at so that you can get a clear glimpse of how a startup runs or how do you build your startup, or if you're going to a VC or an angel investor, how to pitch your startup so that they can fund your startup in with the actual money. This will be shared in the WhatsApp groups, and your mentors will be in touch with you so that you can ask them if you have any doubts. And on the event day, the judges will also give you constructive feedback on your startup ideas so that after the event as well, you can still work on them and actually pretty build a pretty good startup out of it. So that's about the additional support. And coming to the event details, on the event day, we'll start at 10 o'clock. The first session will be jury talks and interaction, where the jury, the three jury or the four jury, will be stating their experiences and insights of their startup journey or their entrepreneurship journey, and they'll also speak about why are they and what are they right now. So that it's like just like giving a lecture on entrepreneurship or their experiences. One of the jury member is actually a finalist in the Eureka zonal round, so he'll be also sharing on how the winning team can also go and present in the same way so that they can also get into the final round of the Eureka. So that will be done from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it will be followed by pitching rounds. So 12 o'clock sharp, we'll be starting with the pitching rounds where the 23 shortlisted teams will be presenting their startup ideas. So the format is again 3 minutes pitching plus 2 minutes Q&A. The 3 minute timing is strictly the perfect timing for you to pitch your startup, because if you are not able to pitch a startup under 3 minutes, that means you're just confused and you don't know what your startup actually is. So make sure that you practice your pitch before you come to the event as well. And after your pitch is done, you will get 2 minutes to ask the jury, or the jury can ask you some questions about your startup, and you can clear the doubts if they have any. And we also included a short lunch break in the between, which will be our usual timings, which is from 1:10 to 1:50. And after 1:50, the pitching round will resume again so that the remaining teams also can pitch their ideas. And after 3:30, we'll have a fireside chat with the jury people where the three or four jury members will sit on the stage and chat with each other about their entrepreneurship or their startup journeys. And we can also have open Q&A so that the candidates can interact with the jury and ask their round of questions to the jury and get a deep idea of how entrepreneurship or startups, or how a founder should behave in the startup space when they're really early in the market. So it will be mostly about entrepreneurship, leadership, and innovation. And finally, the last 20 minutes are dedicated to announcing the results of the competition, where we'll be announcing the top three winners who will be given a chance to participate in Eureka zonal round, which will be the days will be announced soon. And finally, we'll be felicitating the winners with a certificate and a good amount of cash prize as well. So this is the event details, which we are going, which how we are going to conduct the event. And finally, it's your time to ask any questions you have about the event in the live section. We'll just wait for 2 minutes so that I get any message from you, and we can discuss on that. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the live chat, and I'll be able to answer that for you. Shrikant, you can join me on the Q&A. Is there a specific dress code? Yeah, actually, Kirtana, that's a good question. There is no specific dress code, but again, because it's a startup and a startup pitching event, I think you should be dressing formally so that you represent your startup perfectly. Are there any more questions? Guys, if you have any questions, just type down in the live chat, and we'll be able to answer that. You can ask either from the PPT. She can just present your PPT so that they can get a glimpse of what you just spoke. Okay, we have another question from Kirtana. Can we include the prototype in the last slide of the PPT? Shrikant, I think you can answer that.
So basically, if you have a prototype, yes, you can add. Or if it is possible to put it in a PPT, then definitely you can.
Even though if you are adding a prototype for your project, it will be still not be, it won't get you any extra points for that. It's just that you have built something and you can show your progress for the startup. Since there is a slide in the PPT where you have to show your, progress for the startup, you can just add it there. I think that answered the question, Kirtana.
Just go through the slides once more and see if you have any doubts.
Okay, we have got another question. What if we want to redesign our idea which we have already submitted? Uh, for the idea which you have already submitted, you can redesign the idea, but I would suggest you not to do that. And it's fine if you do that. It's fine if you do that as well. You're welcome, Kirtana. Guys, do you have any questions? The questions can be related to any of the pointers in the PPT as well. If you are stuck with any slide, I'll you just go through your PPT once again and let us know if you have any questions. What if my idea addresses a vast number of target audience? Shrikant, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So it basically comes under this slide. It's a good thing that if your target audience is a large number, but you need to be practical on how you'll be tackling that thing. Because judges, when you mention that thing, judges will be asking you for your plan of action. Because for a small startup, it is okay, practical to handle a limited number of target audience. But when you address that your target audience is really big, you need to be very specific about the statistical data, like how big the audience is and what is your service or the product that you're going to provide them, and how you're going to solve the issue of supply and availability. So be specific about that point.
Though your startup has a vast number of target audience, I would suggest you to stick with a small number of audience since the startup is in its initial stage of development. It would be very helpful to concentrate on a one particular group of audience rather than getting on a vast number of audience and diversifying your idea and then losing all the customers at once. That would be really bad if you're going with a vast number of audience. So I think you should stick with a small amount of target audience for that. So we have another question, I guess.
Three members.
All the three members in the group should present the idea. That's actually up to you, Harshita. It can be one, two, or all the three members can present the idea, but just make sure that you don't fumble or deviate from the main idea of what your startup is about, and that should be good enough. Do you have any more questions? We'll just wait for 2 more minutes for any questions you have, and we'll move on. So I think some of one of them asked actually to be more specific about research data. Shrikant, can you explain on that as well again?
Yeah. So research data, that's important when you're pitching, because without explaining about the data, the idea simply seems to be impractical. Okay, when you mention a specific data or statistics, that adds weightage to your uh, present pitching. because it shows that you have some idea on what is your target audience and what are you trying to achieve. Okay. And one more thing I would like to suggest is please be specific about the authenticity of the data. Don't try to get some random data from the net and copy paste it into your PPT. If it is truly authentic or some credible, it has some credibility. Only then you put the data. Okay.
One thing you should keep in your mind is that never confuse your jury or the venture capitalist with a random numbers or any scientific numbers, because numbers are the most important thing when you're pitching a startup idea. And if you're a little off with your numbers, the you have potentially no deal in the end. So that is one thing you should focus on. And we have another question. Can you elaborate on the USP of a startup? Would it be all right if I don't have a USP?
See, basically USP for every startup, USP is the first thing the judges consider, as much as I know, because uniqueness of a product is the most important thing of your startup. Because as of now, your idea may be already present in the market in some or the other form. So for you to get into the market and compete with them, to survive in the competition, only your uniqueness can help you out. So USP is the first and foremost thing that you should have. That gives your pitching more, type of weightage, the confidence that you need to enter the market. Because for example, if the solution you're providing is already present in the market, how are you going to market it? The company which is already existing will have some loyal target audience which are habituated to the previous product. Why will they shift to your product? So to explain that thing, you need to get into the USP thing. If you present your USP, only then you can convince the audience to prefer your product, and you can maybe you can also convince the uh, loyal audience of your competitor to shift from previous product to your product. So that USP thing is much needed. It's not that it should be completely unique. Just be specific on what your solution is going to provide. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, that's perfect answer for the question. Uh, One more question we have is, what if I don't have a USP? Okay, that's already answered. So yeah, we'll be waiting for again the other 2 minutes, and we'll wrap up the session. Guys, if you have any question, how much time will we get to pitch our idea? So as mentioned, Jonathan, you will be getting a time of 3 minutes, which is like 180 seconds to pitch your startup, and the other 2 minutes is for the Q&A session between you and the jury people. So I think that's pretty much about the Q&A, and so guys, all the best for the event. I hope everybody pitches their ideas well, and let's see how great ideas you've got on the stage, and yeah, all the best. So that's it about from our end. Thank you, Shrikant, for joining this live and explaining about the PPT again. And see you all guys on 21st August at our college. And yeah, all the best.
All the best to all the participants.